Hello everyone, I'm Santiago, and today I'm going to be testing the Tomb Raider franchise on the Steam Deck, all the way back from Tomb Raider, the first one, to Shadow of the Tomb Raider. Many of these older games will require tweaks, patches. As you can see, I'm doing all these. And which one? Well, and the newer ones, Shadow, Rise, and Tomb Raider 2013. I'm skipping the Lara Croft older titles. Whoa. Lara Croft. These games, Lara Croft Go, which is a mobile game, Temple of Osiris is a top-down game, Guardian of Light is another top-down game. I'm skipping those because it's out of the scope of this video. I'm already fixing all the original games to work properly. Would make the video like 3 hours long, so I rather do the main entries in the franchise, all the native PC versions. So let's get right into it. Alright, so let's get started with the first game in the franchise, Tomb Raider 1. If you go to properties, you have everything like this, compatibility on nothing, and it says it's incompatible on Steam Deck, so let's fix that. Go to the Discover Software Center. This is to download programs. And in there, you need to download Proton App Qt. So, Proton App, look it up like that. Install it, and once it's installed, launch it. It will be in your desktop. In my case, it's down here because I already installed it. So this will launch the program. So we need to add one of these. So make sure that in the drop-down menu you selected Steam, click on Add Version, and in Compatibility Tool, put Luxtorpeda, or Luxtorpeda, I don't know what that is. Like this, the latest one, click on Install, and this would download and install this for your Steam options for compatibility. Okay, there we go. And now let's go into gaming mode. Okay guys, we're now in gaming mode. So make sure when you open the game page, go into this cog over here, go into properties, compatibility, tick this box and select Luxtorpeda or Luxtorpeda. I don't know how it's called. And after that, go into this controller, go up here, and in community layouts, select Tomb Raider PS1 controls, press X, and that should be your current layout. After you do that, press play, Luxtorpeda will launch and install all the necessary components, and the game will launch right away. As you can see right now, we're now into the game. And if you go to detail levels, you have everything here. This is actually for 3D, so ignore stereo. It has nothing to do with audio. So let's launch the game. And it runs completely fine, 60 frames. The original is only 30. This is called Open Lara. It's a project that is not the native game. What Valve offers with the game download is actually the original game with DOSBox, which is very problematic in many ways. One of them is that the game's cinematics don't show up properly. They have lots of issues. When I tried to skip the cinematics, the game crashed. Alright guys, we're now playing on hand. Basically, it runs the same as non-handheld mode. And as you can see, according to the battery remaining time, we have 6 hours of battery running the game at 60 frames, which is great. Very thankful for that. Super responsive. Because I had so many issues trying to get DOSBox to work properly. Even the newer versions. So to make it easier for everyone, including you guys, because most people don't want to go through the hassle, they just want to play the damn game. I thought this was the best way to do it. I'll play it like this, honestly, if I had to choose. It's way easier to set up. And you get lots of hours of battery, and 6 FPS. You're just missing the cutscenes, unfortunately. Let's jump into the next one. Alright guys, so now difficulties to run Tomb Raider 2, 3, and 4, or Last Revelation. Fortunately enough, one patch fixed those 3, so I'm going to bundle them in. So go into the webpage in the description, go for Tomb Raider 2, 3, 4 widescreen patch early advanced version, click on that. This will download a zip file or RAR file. Once you extract it, you'll have Tomb Raider 234 patch.exe. So, okay. Once you get that, let me remove this so I'll show you how it is. Press on Add Game, Add Non-Steam Game, Browse, and go to your downloads and find this exe. You open it, add selected programs. It'll show up on your library. Right click, Properties, and in compatibility, make it with Proton Experimental. And after that, just launch it. So once you launch the program, make sure this box is ticked. Widescreen fix, aspect ratio 16:10. That's the Steam Deck's aspect ratio. You can also do FOV fix, so more FOV, or the camera distance from Lara. So press on go, and now you need to go to your games folder. It'll look very weird. In this case, those 3 games are on my microSD card, so it's simple. Go to D, which is the microSD card, Steam apps, common, and you'll find the games. But if you have them on internal storage, that's the Z drive, and you need to know the path to a game. In this case, the path to, for example, Amnesia the Bunker, I only have an empty folder there, is located here. So you'll see this. Well, it'll be a bit confusing, so bear with me. Z drive, then you need to go to Home, Deck, and .local is not present. That's because the files are hidden. So in file name, type .local, press enter, then share, Steam apps, common, and there you find the games in your internal storage. I don't know why they put that here, but hey. Anyway, so once you're into the games folder, in my case, in my microSD card, let's start with Tomb Raider 2. Just select the exe file, press open, and you'll start patching it. And then you have to do the same thing with Tomb Raider 3, Tomb Raider 4, and you're good to go. So in those 3 games, the method is exactly the same. And once that's done, just go back into gaming mode and launch those 3 games. Alright guys, so we're now in gaming mode once again. And my advice here, just keep it as stock. So the only update I would do is go into this controller icon. Up here, go to Community Layouts. Select PS1 controls with flare fix for Steam Deck. Press X to apply the layout. Click on play. Go to launch configuration and put ask me each time. This will launch the launcher with our options for resolution and all that good stuff. So give it a second. Okay, we're in. And that's basically what I recommend. 800p, all this checked, and you should be good to go. Press OK. Then click on play again. Play Tomb Raider 2. Don't ask again because we're not going back into the launcher. And it will launch the game right away, but unfortunately the cutscenes are broken. So if you know how to fix that, please let me know. I wasn't able to. So yeah, there we go. We are now into the game. The controls are the same as PlayStation 1. And yeah, it's locked to 30, which is a shame. 3 hours of battery. I thought it was going to be more, but hey, here we are. There should be a tiger coming up any second. So let's get the shotgun. You can also use Open Lara, like in the original game. But on this one, I think playing the original is fine. Although with Open Lara you get more battery life and improved graphics. So yeah, all up to you. In this case I wanted to stick to the original because we can do it. It requires little work as well. So yeah, let's get that tiger. Whoa, 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 whoa. Okay, reduce 2 atoms. So yeah, let's jump into the next one. Now we're doing Tomb Raider 3, and this one, again like in Tomb Raider 2, open this controller thing, go to community layouts, select classic Tomb Raider, press X to apply the layout. You can try as many layouts as you want, and in the settings there's no changes basically. Everything as stock, only with that update for the widescreen fix, as I showed you before. Choose play, launch setup, ask each time. And this will open the options menu, like in Tomb Raider 2. And well, what to say about this? Not much. Go in here, choose your resolution. In this case, 1280 by 800. Oh, okay, I can just do this. So if you guys are here, make sure that when this is selected, use the arrows to move around. So just selected 800p, everything like you see here, press OK, and it'll go into the game. Also, cutscenes are broken on this one, unfortunately. Alright. Like in the previous game, this is basically locked to 30. Hopefully I don't die. Oh, okay. There we go. So like in Tomb Raider 2 again, 30 FPS cap, because this game is old. I'm sticking to the original because it works right away. Tomb Raider 1 was a different story because that game by default worked, basically was unplayable. Let me see if I have any more. Freaking monkey. The vein of my existence. So as I was saying, sorry, I got carried away there. I don't know how to pick things up. Jesus Christ. Anyway, so as I was saying, there we go. The original Tomb Raider 1 didn't work properly out of the box, but with this widescreen fix and the whatever Steam version we get, the game works properly. Just locked to 30 because old game from the 90s. So yeah, works completely fine. Just locked to 30 unfortunately, but again, we stick to the original. There's also Open Lara, an Open Lara version. If you're interested in that, that one goes to 60. Doesn't have cutscenes either, so keep that one in mind. Well, let's jump into the next one. Now Tomb Raider 4, The Last Revelation. Like in the previous one, go to the controller, go here, on the top one, community layouts. Choose Tomb Raider 4 for Steam Deck on one that says PS1 bindings. There we go. Press X to apply the layout. And you're good. And now select play. Launch run setup. Ask me each time. And here you can also set up the resolution like before. So the resolution should be 1280 by 800. Color depth 32-bit. Then volumetric effects, yes, bump mapping. And that's basically it. So now it's time to launch the game. Press OK. The game will launch itself. Again, cutscenes are broken. There's also Open Lara for this game. So if you want to play it at 60 FPS without the original aesthetic, and the original PC version. You can do that. That one also doesn't have any, what's the name of this? Any cutscenes, unfortunately. But again, in my opinion, we are in the future right now. You can watch those on YouTube if you're interested, in my opinion. And unfortunately, this one is locked to 30 FPS as well. I love the mobility of this.
Good men have died for the information contained herein.
So yeah, I mean, this one runs just fine. Again, remember to apply the fix I said before. So it's 16:10. It covers the entire Steam Deck screen. So I think that's what's important, to keep 16:10 Steam Deck screen. Almost 3 hours of battery, I would say. So a little bit less than the other ones. Whoa. And I died. I forgot about that. Really kicks me back here. Okay, fine. Let's jump into the next one. Okay, so now it's time to tweak Tomb Raider 5 or Tomb Raider Chronicles. First of all, follow the link in the description. And there's this in the Tomb Raider forums. This is a decompilation project. It adds some quality of life improvements. As you can see here, the sky. So click on We Are Fully Open Source. It'll take you to the GitHub page. And in releases, download exe plus dll.zip. I'll keep it on downloads so it's easy to find. So inside downloads, here, you have this exe plus dll, extract it. You have a pctomb5.exe and tomb5.dll. So grab those two, copy, and now you need to get to the games folder. So right click on the game, manage, browse local files, and paste the patch that you got here. So paste the contents there. It'll ask you to replace the exe file. We put overwrite, and that's basically it. And just in case, since there's a new DLL here, we're going to add it to the WINEDLL wine overrides. So, alright, so now right click on Tomb Raider Chronicles, properties, and paste this command. So we force it to use the DLL we want to. In this case, it's called Tomb5. So in here we put Tomb5. I'm not sure if this is necessary, but since DLLs are kind of a needed thing in general for patches, custom patches to work, I'll keep it like that. If it's unneeded, please let me know in the comments. And let's now get into the game. Alright guys, now Tomb Raider Chronicles in gaming mode. Go into this controller, as in the other ones. Go into community layouts, Tomb Raider Chronicles Steam Deck. Then press X to apply the layout. And there we go. Just select play. Go to the setup program, ask each time. Because we might need to get back in there later. You choose the resolution. In this case, 800p. Bit depth on 32-bit. There we go. Volumetric effects, yes please. And that's basically it. Time to launch the game. Press OK. Man, it's been a while since I saw that. Alright guys, I had to cut the beginning because there was a lot of light and my reflection was very annoying. You can still see me, but it's less obvious. So as you can see, the game is locked to 30. Controls fine. It's an older game, so I can forgive the 30 FPS cap. You can also use Open Lara, like on the previous ones. If you're interested, I think it's there. If I'm mistaken, please let me know. But as you can see, it's completely fine. The controls are still like they used to. Ah, dang it. Okay. Yes, I did it.
Now let's try a longer leap. Walk to the edge, then tap back once. Now press forward and jump together.
Nope, I screwed up. That's alright. So that's basically Tomb Raider 5. It runs completely fine, locked to 30 because it's an old game. But it works. I'm happy to report. With the widescreen fix, it uses the entire screen. So let's jump into the next one. Alright guys, now we're doing Tomb Raider The Angel of Darkness. This one only requires one tweak in here, that is in custom layouts. Select Tomb Raider AOD Steam Deck controls, press X, and you're good. When you open the game, it will go to the launcher right away, which is good. And in this launcher, select settings. Let me hide this. And it blew me away the amount of options that are here. So put this like this. And look at the amount of graphical options. It's ridiculous. The big thing I'll like you to change is monitor aspect. Put it on 1.6. That means 16 by 10. Otherwise, the game will be either stretched or, yeah, it won't look correct. There's also 4 times MSAA. Press OK. Run game. And the game will launch right away.
To move around,
And it's a big graphical jump, plus the 60 FPS possibility, this one. Because we're from the PS2 era, this is when we jumped generations. I was around back then, but I didn't have a PC at this point in time. I didn't even know this game existed. Okay, would you allow me? There we go. Thank you.
To grab the balcony, walk to...
This is a tutorial, that's why it holds your hand so much. Go.
This gap looks easy.
So as you can see, it works just fine. 4 hours of battery. This game understands how to do multi-threading. We walk to the edge. There we go. I'm a bit more used to the controls now. Let's climb. But as you can see, it has shadows. It has pretty good visuals, considering its age. Of course, in comparison to the previous one, it's night and day. But I love that it's 60 frames.
Maybe I can climb through that window.
Yeah, no, I'm not climbing through that window. So yeah, very extensive options menu. Just put everything on the highest. Don't even bother changing anything else. Make sure the aspect ratio of the monitor is 1.6, so it's 16 by 10. And you should be good to go. Oh yeah, I have to do a longer jump now, right?
Now press up cursor.
Let me go to the edge. Oh, are you kidding me? No, that's not what I wanted to do. Alright. There. Take a deep breath and jump! Okay, I did it. I thought I was going to screw up.
Walk up to the railings.
Yeah. So as I was saying, it's just fine. 6 FPS all the time, 4 hours of battery. Let's jump into the next one. Now we're checking out Tomb Raider Legend. This one was the first one from the PS3 360 era, a cross-generation title. When you select play, choose setup, ask me each time, because we don't want to go into the setup each time. And once you get in there, select your Steam Deck resolution, 800p. Check all these, and there is an issue with, as you can see, there's an option called next generation content. This is to enable the Xbox 360 visuals, but it's buggy as hell. If you want to use it, but it made the game crash in a few levels. So I recommend you turn it off. It's buggy on PC, unfortunately. Select OK. Now you can select play, play Tomb Raider Legend, don't ask again. And that's basically it. You can play the game now. But there is a couple extra things you should do. Also full controller support, no need to tweak the joystick or anything. And as you'll see, it's stretched, which sucks. So in the options, go down to display mode. No, sorry. Display, widescreen on. This will be 16:9, so maybe you want to play at 720. The widescreen fixes required lots of work. We find on Steam Deck. And again, the next gen content, as you can see, looks amazing in comparison. I mean, look at this. So it's buggy, causes crashes in a couple levels, so I changed my mind. I'll keep it enabled. And in the levels that is problematic and it crashes, shut it down, basically. And to not have stretched the stretching from 16:9, I would just play at 720 like this. Unfortunately, it doesn't look 100% correct. We have a huge bar down here. That's weird. Anyway, let's jump into the game, shall we? And yeah, the main issue again is the bar at the bottom. If you want to play with the entire screen, you can do it. But let's just say you get a squashed image, a little bit squashed. If you don't mind, don't worry then. You can kick objects. I don't remember how though. Anyway. So as you can see, pretty good visuals. We're using the next gen thing. Again, if the game crashes or has any problems in any particular level, turn them off, play the level, then turn them off. But as you can see, it works just fine. I forgot the... Oh. Yeah, unfortunately the prompts are not correct. That sucks.
Unless you eat it.
Okay, I forgot the light source. Oh, never mind. There we go. So as you can see, works fine. Again, next gen features, turn them off. Those are for the 360 version, has some graphical glitches. But at the same time, it looks much better. Well, the crashes are the main problem, in my opinion, this thing. And it should give you like 2.5 hours of battery. And with the next gen mode, next gen setting disabled, you're going to get basically more battery life because less demanding on the hardware. So yeah, let's jump into the next one. Now we're playing Tomb Raider Anniversary, and this one luckily doesn't require any manual tweaking. Select play, Anniversary setup, ask me each time, so it doesn't go into the setup each time we launch it. And this one is very simple, same options menu as the previous game, a few changes, 4 times MSAA. Keep it like this, maybe enable VSync, but Steam Deck already does it by its own. Click OK. Select play, Tomb Raider Anniversary, don't ask again. So you don't have that option each time you open the game. And this one actually works pretty well out of the box, way better than Legend. So, at least the PC version. The only issue is that the UI is completely squashed. Just make sure to keep it like this. And into display, it asks you for the aspect ratio, select 16:10. So the visuals will be correct, but the UI is a bit squashed, which I don't think is a big deal. Considering all the issues I had with the earlier games in the franchise, this looks completely fine. Fills out the entire screen. It looks great. The thing is, we don't have the prompts for controller prompts, which bothers me. but the game works just fine. It detects the gamepad as a 360 controller, so that's pretty good. Yeah, the controls on this one are way more intuitive. After playing the first games, this is completely fine. Hey sir, how are you doing? Sorry for shooting you in the face. Okay, let's talk to him. But as you can see, the UI is squashed. I don't mind in this case. Oh, he speaks Spanish. What the hell? That's very cool. So yeah, it works just fine. Didn't have any problems with this one. Luckily, after playing the older ones again, this one was a breeze to set up. So yeah. Let's open the door. Like this, poking. We're going to skip the cinematic. Now we're in. So yeah. This is clearly a trap. This is just like the first game, but with newer graphics, controls. That's why it's called Anniversary. Let's just say it's a remake of the first one. So yeah, let's jump into the next one. Now we're checking out Tomb Raider Underworld. And well, this one almost killed the franchise back then, I remember. So this one is plug and play. I don't know why it says incompatible or unsupported. Select play, it will ask you to install DirectX, so you just press next, next, next. It will compile the shaders super quickly. And the first time you launch it, it will ask you for your resolution and all that. And then get into the game right away. So let me show you the settings. Audio visual, display mode selection, 800p, 16:10. On the display settings, I'm using 2 times MSAA. I probably can use 4 times, so let's keep it on 4 times, whatever. And now, new game, yes, Tomb Raider, and it has controller prompts, so that's awesome. Okay, it took 10 seconds to load, and as you can see visually, it's a great upgrade. I really like how this game looks. And as you can see, it should give us a little over 3.5 hours of battery. I remember when this came out, we were blown away by Lara's 3D model. Lots of polygons at that time. But I never played this on the newer consoles. I actually played this on the Wii, I think. So this is not the version I'm familiar with. But it looks pretty good. I'm pretty impressed. Anyway. I want to play this game more actually. I wonder how it is. Again, I'm the guy that played the Wii version. The version that didn't have one of the game objects that was needed to continue the game. It had a big issue that there was a missing bar to swing on, so you got stuck in one part there. Had to download a patch. That was my first patching experience in a video game. But again, I'm blown away by the visuals actually. Everyone's just fine, no issues whatsoever, and it worked right out of the box. And it also has controller prompts. Not sure why Valve says it's incompatible. Okay. Look out! Close enough. And before I go, I wanted to show you this part. You get into the water, and well, again, this part, in my opinion, looks great. Still looks great. You can shoot underwater. So yeah, I just wanted to show you that. Pretty interesting. So let's go into Tomb Raider 2013 now. Tomb Raider 2013. So this one, just launched it, it's verified, but on the highest settings, except in the hair. In displays with lots of details, I see drops below 60, which was pretty common. So let's fix it. Pause the game, go into graphics, and inside graphics, put this like you see here. Then in advanced, we have a lot of things to fix. So first of all, shadows, it has off, normal, and ultra. Ultra has softer edges like modern games, so I recommend you keep it here. If you see lots of drops in forest areas and you don't particularly enjoy having the game closer to the 6 FPS range, below that, put it on normal. It'll have less soft shadows. Shadow resolution, we keep it the same. Level of detail, this one is super important. Honestly, just keep it on normal, still looks great. I mean, it barely makes a difference unless you're really looking for it into the distance. Also helps the CPU, which is a big factor here. Reflections, keep them the same. SSAO, put it on normal or high. Post-processing, this is the most demanding option behind Trace Effects, so the hair. So turn this off. It makes the game look a little bit darker with it on and makes the ambient occlusion more dark. But without it, I think it looks fine, and the performance increase is absolutely insane. So press apply. In my opinion, the game still looks great. And there you go, 60 FPS, even in this demanding section. And by demanding, I mean because there's lots of geometry. And as you can see, one core is being utilized. Sucks. But it specifically came to this area for that very reason. So I think we should get into combat right away. Alright guys, we're back in the same location, but this time with the enemies attacking us.
Hey, surround her! There's nowhere for her to go! Pay for that.
As you can see, it's using quite a bit of CPU. One core, I mean. Game. I haven't played this game in a while. But I played this game so much across the years. I have saves from 2017. Oh yeah, as you can see, it's fine. Some minor tweaks in the options menu and you're good to go. Alright guys, portable mode now. I'm excited. Seeing this in a smaller screen feels so weird.
One girl! That one girl is kicking our ass! Keep her, all right? She'll stop us all!
And it looks great.
Get around! We can catch her! Let's move out! Come on!
Oh, headshot. I played better with the controller for some reason there. Really, are you kidding me?
Oh god!
I remember this one is in the era that every character had a bow and arrow. I forgot how to reload. That's okay. As you can see, it's amazing. It's basically, at least in the demanded areas, probably 90 to 100 minutes of battery. So 1.5 hours probably. It's using a lot of CPU in one core. And the GPU is being utilized quite a bit as well. Alright, I decided to load a save from 2018 in this closed environment. This part was also pretty taxing on the benchmarks. I really forgot that I saved these saves for benchmarking purposes. I was probably benchmarking this in 2018 and redid a save. Man, I'm getting old. 2 atoms. So nothing else to say, it works completely fine. Expect like 1.5 hours of battery. That's basically it. Let's jump into the next one. Alright guys, now it's Rise of the Tomb Raider. Personally one of my favorites in the franchise. Maybe my favorite, actually. So this one has a Linux port, but it doesn't work great. So I recommend you force Proton on this one. So go to the settings, compatibility, and force Proton. And it should be completely fine. I don't know why the Linux version is not great. So my settings are 800p, FXAA, you can use SMAA if you want to. And on graphics I use these settings, basically a mix between, basically medium settings with some stuff turned off. So yeah, there we go. And my target here it's 40 FPS. By the way, I forgot to mention, I enabled DX12 because in heavy places such as the geothermal valley, which I'm standing on right now, on DX11 we get CPU limited. So DX12 runs very similar, but the main issue there, again, is these areas. You can see some stutter here and there, not sure if it is shader compilation. So my advice here is to lock it to 40, this is my 40 FPS configuration. But the game looks great like this on the smaller screen, so let me swap to that, lock it to 40 so you can see what to expect. And then we'll do a quick rundown on how to play it at 30 because that's also an option. Alright guys, I'm back. So as you can see, if you open this menu, you get, well, 40 Hz refresh rate, lock it to 40, allow tearing, and it should be way more stable than before. Instead of jumping up and down, you get a way more consistent experience. Of course, there's sacrifices to graphics, which I'm okay with, because it's way smoother like this. So yeah, this is one of those difficult areas, that's why I'm testing here. But as you can see, it's so much more consistent with that lock FPS. So yeah, let's do something more interesting. So we're going to fast travel to the mission. But so far so good. With the 40 FPS cap, in parts of Geothermal Valley, the first time you go there, some stutter, then it stabilizes, maybe some shader compilation stuff in the background, but it's way better than the Linux version. So Proton all the way on this one. And shortly I'm going to show you a 30 FPS configuration, which means better graphics. Personally, I'm not into that in this game in particular. In the smaller screen, the reflections, yeah, it's noticeable that they're gone, the screen space ones. But otherwise, it should be good. Open this menu, 60 Hz refresh rate, 30 FPS cap, allow tearing. And in the options menu, we're doing a couple adjustments. First things first, in graphics, we're putting everything on high. Not this though. Level of detail as well. Desolation, screen space reflections, this as well, this as well. The pure hair, we can push it a little bit further. Alright. And that's basically the higher settings that we can use, which look pretty good. And in display, we are using SMAA instead. This should give us lock 30s with better graphics, although the responsiveness of the game is affected quite significantly, at least in my opinion. So sorry guys, it's been a while since I played this. But as you can see, the 30 FPS cap works pretty well. Whoops. So if you don't mind 30 FPS and you want better graphics, that's how you do it. Although again, I'd rather play at 40 because it's so much smoother, it's ridiculous. Just say it's more consistent the vast majority of the time. What? Oh, just a tiger. We're good. We'll be fine. Anyway, let's jump into Shadow of the Tomb Raider, the newest one in the franchise. And finally, Shadow of the Tomb Raider, the latest one in the franchise. This one has a Linux option, which is by default, and I highly recommend you use it over Proton. I think it's a better version, at least for the Steam Deck. But unfortunately, your saves from the Windows version won't carry over. You need to copy and paste them manually if you want your progress. There's a guide to that in the description. That's what I had to do. So native resolution, sharpening. This is not upscaling. You can upscale if you want, but just sharpening right now on native resolution. Then the settings is basically medium with high textures. And my target here is 30. That's why motion blur is on. So don't judge me on that. That's a rule of thumb I have. And keep it like that. So again, the target here is 30, and why am I in this location? Well, there's a good amount of NPCs on screen, a good amount of geometry, and I always tested the game in this location because it's been a nightmare. So once you're outside here, it's a non-issue. You just run into the wilderness and it's over 30 all the time. It might drop into the 29 FPS range in the city, but as you can see, it looks great. The TAA is amazing on this game, at least in my opinion. And you can do upscaling to improve performance. But I still recommend you play at 30, at least on this one. There are some stutters here and there that also happened on my normal PC with Windows. Seems to be some of the shader compilation, but there's less stutter than on the Windows version somehow, at least in my experience. Which is a welcome change. Having a good Linux version, imagine that. My aim is terrible. So let's swap now into handheld so you can see how it looks in real life. Alright guys, welcome now to handheld. As you can see, it looks beautiful on the small screen. Of course, for battery life purposes, we lock it to 30 and allow tearing. There we go, we got a lock 30 with great visuals. This would mean less battery, like 90 minutes, maybe, an hour and a half. But visually, this game looks incredible. Especially on the smaller screen. Man, imagine telling my 4-year-ago self that I could run this game portably. Mind blown. So yeah. As you can see, 30s is fine. So that's the quality option, basically. Medium settings, high textures, all the nice looking effects such as screen space reflections are still there. No upscaling, so native resolution. And this just looks great. So very quickly, let's do a 40 FPS configuration. First things first. Refresh rate, lower it to 40, like that. Lock it to 40 now. Pause the game, options, display and graphics. Let me hide the FPS counter for a moment. Okay, on display, we keep it the same. We just lowered the resolution modifier to around, you know what, let's keep it native and let's see where that takes us. I lower the texture filtering a little, it gives us a couple extra frames. Shadow quality, you can disable shadows, but I do not recommend that. Ambient occlusion, let's disable it. Now, let's keep it on for now. Sorry, I'm getting inconsistent with my choices today. No tessellation, no motion blur, no reflections. No screen space shadows. Pure hair, we can keep it like that. No volumetrics. And that should do. Those should be the settings for 40s. The resolution modifier doesn't tell me which resolution we're upscaling from, so I'll put it at 50%. I don't know what this is. Not sure if it's 50% resolution or whatever, but it looks fine. And you get those 40 FPS. And it still looks good on the Steam Deck screen. The thing is, you're using lower settings, so you miss the cool effects such as reflections, better shadows, better draw distance. But if you're in here for the gameplay fluidity, this is the best way, as good as it gets. And actually the upscaling works pretty well. It's not FSR1, it's Fidelity Effects CIS, Contrast Adaptive Sharpening. So it's a dumb upscaler. But with the TAA, it actually works pretty well. So that's how you get 40s in this game if you're interested. You gotta sacrifice the resolution, but the settings. But the game still looks good. And it feels way better to play like this, definitely. So yeah, that's basically the entire Tomb Raider franchise on the Steam Deck. What do I think? Well, I'm actually pretty impressed. The first games especially are difficult to set up the first time. It's kind of a headache. But from Tomb Raider 2013 and above, Rise of the Tomb Raider, Shadow of the Tomb Raider, they work great. So yeah, I wish Rise of the Tomb Raider had TAA. That would be a godsend because that game has lots of Yagis. Man, it's so sensitive, the aiming. But otherwise, even Tomb Raider Underworld and Anniversary Legend work pretty well. So I think they are well worth playing on the Steam Deck. Hopefully we'll get a new one soon enough. Let's see what Square Enix does. So yeah guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did spending my time testing all of this. It took forever to record all this footage. So if you like it, please like, comment, subscribe. And I'll see you next time. Bye guys. Thanks for watching.